welcome to Detours, Understanding Acquired Brain Injury. So we decided to do something a little strange. Both of us feel poorly. Understatement. I've got, as I've mentioned many a times, I get migraines. I also get cluster headaches. I think this is clusters. Debbie?
Yeah. I get my brain swells, and so I get headaches along the top, and it feels like my brain is pushing out the back of my head, and so I get headaches, and they start me on steroids and headache meds, and so I am kind of like what you want to look for, because I am a lot different when my brain swells than I am when my brain is not swelling. They flushed out my shunt last week, but I
Okay.
started on my steroids this morning, so hopefully it'll go back down. So
Different. Those of you who saw my video, where I had mentioned about how it can affect how migraines can give you neurological symptoms. Obviously, headaches due to changes in ICP. A lot of people post brain injury do develop. They have trouble when thinking. Hydrocephalus causes sharp headaches, and it can likewise, just like migraines, can cause trouble with processing speed, can cause word finding difficulties. Common side effect, as you see with Debbie, is problems with speech, aphasias. For me, I get nausea, like I'm dealing with right now, that kind of queasiness. Now, I don't have the issues with the elevated ICP. You have a shunt, correct?
yeah.
Yeah. Memory issues are common. Usually, it's just like for me, as you can see, I turned the light down. I've changed my position. I'm laying down.
That's what for most of, they thought it was migraines, and it wasn't until I came down here that they said, no, it's not migraines. That, and then they put the shunt in my head and started me on steroids when I got because they're different headaches. They're different than the other ones.
They tend to be much sharper.
Yeah.
The kind I get are dull and they throb. They're over the entire side of my head. They're over my left side. Now, migraines don't have to be, obviously, and they throb. Now, there's a genetic component to migraines. They are vascular. So the blood vessel opens and then it'll it'll throb with your pulse rate. And there are medications I've mentioned about. You could take anti-inflammatory, or you can take abortives. Those cause blood vessels to return to their normal size. Part of why they hurt so much is it's both an inflammatory headache and it affects the coverings of your brain. Um, and so there's inflammation there. There's also the release of um, endocrine signals, um, cytokines. Um, and so that's part of you. I also said I get clusters, which is like a bunch of headaches, like close to each other, and then just like poop. It's like, yeah. And then they'll go away for a while, and then they'll come back again, and I'll get a bunch more. So they're hard to distinguish from each other, the migraines, and then the clusters. And when I'm fighting a headache, I feel kind of like, I don't think clearly,
Right.
obviously. So, and different times a day, different symptoms. And I'm sure for you, different times a day, or you're more or less symptomatic.
Yeah, it's when when it gets later in the day, it's worse than earlier in the day. I just get worse than, and I sleep a lot more. Um,
Yeah.
I don't go downstairs. I don't go down the stairs. I stay upstairs because stairs are not my friend.
No.
I, and if I go down the stairs, I go down on my hiney.
Right.
And when I go up back, when I go back, when I go back up, when I go back up, when I go back up the stairs, I crawl up the stairs on all fours so I don't fall. And my 14-year-old, that child has, but they pretty much are in charge. So
Mm.
it's how things go around here when I get, but, but the stutter that I work so hard to, it, I don't mask when I have a headache. I don't. So everything is gone. I just, I just, so the stutter is there, and I'm just, and the fog, the fog is, and that's how I know more that it's the brain swelling, because the fog, it's the fog kind of rolls in, and I'm like, oh yeah, that needs to go away. But thankfully, I know what it is now, and so I can take the medicine and take my steroids, and it only lasts for a couple of days, as opposed to years.
And that's important that when you identify what something is, you can then deal with it because you know what it is, and you can treat it. Um, for me, yeah, I feel a lot more out of it my cognitive speed is definitely slowed down. I get more repetitious. Um, I'm on some level, I'm aware of it, but it's like Stacy would say, and I also have that look too. Like half my face is kind of dragging, and it's like, whoops. Now I inherited this from my mom, and we were part of a study, and she got it from her mom and so forth. However, my brain injury made this so much worse. I started getting these at like 10, 11, 12. Light is a problem, but sound, lots of loud sound is much worse for me.
You
Some people have
slur
more,
too.
huh?
You slur.
Yeah, that's part of the brain injury. Yeah.
No, you don't slur normally when you're masking. You don't.
No, what I mean is
Yeah.
with the headaches. No, I don't. You're right.
And
That's how I normally sound. This is me. I do that one also when I'm really tired. I have people, anyone who's spoken to me when I'm tired, when my symptoms show up. I can't put a cogent sentence together. I'm doing, eh, I'm running it at 1/4,
right.
but it's important. I agree with you. It's important. I agree. This was your suggestion. I was going to bail on this, but I agree with, your suggestion. People need to see what we look like broken, run off, because if the only way you see folks is when they're running at high, um, running well, it's like they really have brain injury. They really have those symptoms that come with. It's like, yeah, this weekend I will be probably alone and sleeping. I worked quite a bit this week, and that also depletes a lot of my energy. Just like when you saw Kate, when she talked about as she said about she cannot function during if she can't do a full week. She needs she can only work 3 or 4 days, and she's then fried. Well, it's the same is true of me too, and most survivors who are high functioning, like Debbie is, like I am, like some others, we just kind of melt after. And so please, if you know somebody's a friend or somebody who's a family member who's not with you all the time, understand um, it's not bullshit when they tell you that we turn into a pumpkin when we're after a hard week or when we're sick or tired. This is you know the kind of stuff that happens. Now, not for everybody,
Right.
but a lot of us do end up like.
Right. And by, maybe probably Sunday, I'll be back to, probably 75, 80%. And then I'll do stuff next week that'll, like, I'm driving to Kentucky on Monday
Mm, mm.
and it's,
Well, nobody's
you know,
perfect.
eh, quit picking on my state, dude. Do you know how many? I think we got two players in the first round of NBA draft, and I think we got a total of four
They
players
were
in the
complaining
draft.
about it all the time. But
Oh, hush now. I was really mad because Reed Shepherd was going to go to Tennessee. I called him a treacherous butthead, and then went and he was like third pick on the NBA draft. I was like, it's better than wearing orange, dude. Little treacherous ass. I was calling him all sorts of names when he was going to go to Tennessee.
as you see, it's like that's the other thing too, is literally it's like there's those fluctuations and stuff, but it's like
if I don't have to think about saying something,
Exactly. If it's automatic, that's good too. And plus a good laugh or something is always helpful too.
but if I have to think about what I'm saying, my brain and my mouth uh, don't go at the same speed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sound like what is that? It's not Elmer. Is it Elmer Fudd? Is it Elmer Fudd that stutters all the time? Or is it Porky Pig?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
It's, I just sound like Porky Pig. I'm gonna sound like a boat motor that trying to start.
Hmm.
That's why my cognitive behavior says snap 5 times and then try it again.
Yeah.
But I don't have to think about UK basketball.
It's messed up anyway, so.
I am gonna crawl through this screen. You just wish you had as good a basketball team as we do.
No, I can't speak to that. Any of the schools have been nerd schools. So unfortunately, that means, yeah, no stellar basketball
Mm.
or football. Uh, I can't speak to that.
Oh, wait a minute now. You guys
Engineering
have the
schools,
Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a I'll Steelers all day.
that's professional though.
I know, but
It's not college ball.
okay, and I'll admit UK's football team. Uh, Monkey and I were my 14-year-old and I were talking last night about because we were watching the NBA second round draft. And
Mhm.
I was like, we were talking, and I said, this year I don't think you're gonna make money off of basketball season this year because
Mhm.
I he gets money for every time I curse at the TV during basketball and football season. I said, but you still got football season, you still got college football season, and he was like, okay, good, because I
Yeah, yeah. We tried the swear jar when we was growing up. That did not work because my dad like threw $20 in the jar ahead of time. We each put like five in. My mom was like, "That's killing the whole point. You're supposed to do it at the moment you do it, not prepay." So the swear jar went away. It was like, it was like,
I started the swear thing for the basketball season because it got them to sit down and watch basketball with me and football with me. Football is the most be beautiful. I mean, it is like dancing.
also terrible for your brain.
But I know it is like now I watch it and I see them and I'm like traumatic brain injury, traumatic brain injury,
Yeah,
traumatic brain injury. But it is
yeah.
the most elegant, beautiful
It
sport
is
in the
tremendous amounts of skill. I just watch that. It breaks my heart.
right. And you're sitting there watching and you're like, okay, you are going to be injured for the rest of your life. And
There's got to be a way, maybe flag or something, you
people
know.
want to know why these guys make all this money because they're going to be like us for the rest of their lives.
I do wish that, you know, again, maybe flag or something. I don't,
I don't think that the American public would pay, to go see flag football, grown ass adults playing. They pay for the
maybe,
violence.
maybe if it were, what the heck, then gladiatorial combat. May as well do that then while we're at it.
I know. It's the sad part.
Disgusting.
But I mean, I sit there and I watch it and it's almost like the moves and stuff minus the violence. I mean, it's like ballet. It's beautiful. But then
It's
you
a
throw
lot of
that
skill.
violence in there. It's like I think football is more beautiful than basketball, but basketball is less
It's
violent.
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah. You guys got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love Pittsburgh Steelers. So
And the Eagles, thank you.
Whatever. You guys got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Some of us bleed green, you know.
We'll forgive you. You're still my friend and I love you.
Yep. You're still my friend. I love you, even though you've got Kentucky connections. uh,
You pick on Kentucky and yeah, whatever.
well, you've got the Kentucky Derby, and there's good whiskey. So,
Yeah. It's bourbon, not whiskey though.
mm,
Just gonna put that out there.
mm.
If it's from Kentucky, it's bourbon.
Ah, okay.
That's why I'm here. To educate you on all things
Oh my
Kentucky.
God.
See, we can still have our sense of humor and be feeling like shit.
I'd say that's the only thing that keeps me going.
Me
It's a
too.
really bad sense of dad humor.
I
Uh,
know.
it's like when that's off, when I just am grown and covered by stacks of pillows in the dark. I mean,
Hmm.
that's how you know it is like really bad. That's usually that's a sign that I need to be dragged to the doctor's office for the shot. Like when it's like Stacy knows it's time to drag Mark to the doctor's office because if I'm just like, and I don't want any no physical contact or not nothing, no rubbing or anything, then it's time to take me in.
I thought when I get headaches like this, it's like, don't touch me, my skin hurts. Because
Mm,
it hurts skin since my accident. Touching is like, it feels like somebody's got like light touch feels like somebody's got putting electrodes on my skin and all the nerve endings are being electrocuted. So it's painful
mm.
anyway. So it's like, you touch me, I will
Thalamic, perhaps thalamic damage.
see you have all the answers. I don't know. It just hurts and I don't like it, so don't touch me. But I mean, like if you
A good
touch,
bear hug can feel really good.
right, but if you touch me, it doesn't hurt. But if you like lightly touch me, it's like that is painful. Don't touch me. So, but and like frozen drinks are really good. Feel good.
Yeah,
Make my
it's
head
a
feel good.
signal processing. Yeah, that's got to be thalamic
And
and hypothalamic. Yeah, that area. And we know you've got issues there. We've talked about it. No, I don't feel like talking about it
I
beyond.
don't want to talk about it. No education.
Well,
No,
I don't. As you notice, I'm having trouble accessing some of this stuff right
I
now.
know. But so I don't have many memories of anything, but one thing I do have a memory of is like waking up from headaches and there being a mix of pina colada and orange, not alcohol pina colada, but the pina colada like stuff and orange freezies, like big
Ah,
round ones next to my bed. And I would wake up from a headache and there they would be. And
those are good for numbing pain too. Cold.
and I would sit there and drink them and I'd be just like, thank you, magical freezy fairy, for bringing me freezies. And but every time I would have a headache, there would be this like big, like from the gas station, these great big tall ices or whatever they were called, and the pina colada orange mix. And I'd be like, oh, the icy, freezy, whatever they're called, fairy has been here. And I'd drink it and go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's usually pretty effective. Ice is very good for those kind of headaches and stuff like that.
There's no
I
pina
like that.
colada orange icy fairy here. I've not found that fairy yet.
You'll have to tell them where you are now. Maybe your 14-year-old can talk to them.
I don't know. There has been somebody abducting girls around here, like between the ages of 12 and 15. I'm not kidding. So I am not letting my children out of I was like,
Yeah,
I
don't.
send my kid
Yikes.
out to get the mail, and I was like, please go get the mail, but don't get kidnapped.
Jesus.
I mean, the last girl got kidnapped like right out of her yard.
Well,
And I'm
the
like,
FBI needs to be looking around. Holy
They
shit.
are. And I mean, there's like all these different agencies, but I'm like, just don't get kidnapped out of your yard. I mean, just, I won't even, Dollar General's like a block away, and I will
Yeah,
not
I wouldn't
let
let
the
any kid
kids
out.
walk to. No, 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 no. I like my kids. I want to keep them. My
Yeah,
14-year-old
holy
was
shit.
expensive.
They are. They're expensive.
Well,
Damn.
I mean, I adopted them too, so they weren't cheap. Lawyer fees and all this other stuff. Not a cheap kid. I kind of like them.
Yeah. Wow. That's awful.
So besides, they're half grown. In 4 years, they get a suitcase for their birthday. They're my favorite 14-year-old. That's what they came up and they said, Mom, am I your favorite? And I said, well, you're my favorite 14-year-old. And they were like laughing. They said, wait a minute, I'm your only
Only
14 years
14-year-old. Yeah.
old.
Uh,
I would
kind of
take
just my dad would tell. Uh,
that. Can't let it be known that you have a favorite kid. That would be bad.
all kids are assholes, as I would say. It's like,
They
you
have
know,
the ability.
it's like, that's all right. Every kid is. It's just
Yes.
like whether they're exercising that privilege or not at the time.
That's what,
It's like, if they're not, they could be awesome. It's just like, are they exercising their asshole privilege or not?
yeah. I was like, I do the 10 days before birthday. Well, and their adoption day was on the same day as their
Oh,
first birthday. And so we adopted them on their first birthday. And so it's their
oh, that's
birthday.
neat.
It's their birthday and their got me day. So they
Gotcha,
get
Jay. Yeah.
two cakes on their birthday. Because for some reason they can't have a got me day, a birthday cake in one cake. And so this year it's why they're called the spawn of Satan. So I'm pulling out
Ah, okay.
all these pictures to prove why they're the pictures on my that I'm pulling out for the 10 days of birthday are pictures of proof of why they are the spawn of Satan. It's which is why the one that it was for today was the red eye one, and the
Mhm.
one for yesterday was the one with the devil horns. It's like, and yet more proof of why they are the spawn of Satan.
They better have red eyes, because if they don't, if you don't see that red eye, you better get them to an oncologist, because the number one cause of not having the red eye, if you don't have one of those special cameras that blocks that out, is brain tumor.
Oh, well, no, 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 no. For my purposes, the red eyes are because they're the spawn of Satan.
Right. But this is like, anyone watching, if you get those pictures and one eye is like either like has this bluish look and the other one is red, they really, really need to see a doctor.
Okay.
All right. So,
Mm,
again, to emphasize, they wanted you to see us kind of like uh,
crappy,
crappy.
shitty,
Yeah. Yeah.
yucky,
Yeah. Falling apart
not our
because,
best.
yeah, because honestly,
But we still make this look good.
we do, darn it, don't we?
Mm.
And how you can tell even if somebody's in crappy mode whether they're better crappy mode or worse crappy mode, because if your sense of humor is still operational, chances are you're in a day-to-day crap as opposed to get me to the hospital crap. If someone's
Yeah.
just groaning at you or not responding, yeah, it's more call the doctor kind of crappy, you know. But this is just day-to-day crappy.
Yep.
I find for me seasonally, it's usually high summer, in the depths of winter when I'm like reactive, but other people have other triggers for migraines, headaches, those of us with chronic headaches. Um, and it's important to talk to the neurologist or find a headache specialist and find out, what it is that, you know, drives the headaches. Okay.
Hmm. And if you see the icy fairy out there, send him my way. I don't think he knows I don't think he knows I moved.
Right.
Other
Okay.
than that, I got nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
We've
So,
used up my brain reserved.
yep. So I will say, see ya. We'll see you
Bye.
soon. We'll be back to our standard again. But for now, brain reset time. So
All
I
right.
will say, please click like and subscribe. Don't forget, if you have any questions or comments below, we might get to them eventually. In all seriousness, just please share this with people you think may benefit from understanding this kind of issue. Please, and we'll talk to you later. And don't forget Facebook, or don't forget our support group for friends with brain injury. It's at um, 7
Gloryface.org.
7 o'clock, I think, on Monday night and Saturday at 1, I think. Yes. I think. And we also
Mark,
have our support group for friends with brain injury.
thank you.
Check it out.
I was wondering if my vision was going or if your face was blurry.
No, my face was going.
Okay, thank you. Don't scare me like that.
Technical problems. All
Okay.
right. Bye.
Bye.